This semester, we partnered with students at West Middle School in our media literacy project entitled iHeartMedia. Our original goal was to learn the media habits of the kids and get a better sense of how they were generally using the media. In order to do this, we had the kids complete a survey on the first day of class that gauged where they were at. From there, we aimed to increase their media literacy skills, teaching them smart ways to use the media. We taught them about 5 different areas in our 5 weeks with them, including credible news sources, online safety, cyberbullying, media and health effects, and media and body image.
We define media literacy as an informed understanding of the nature of the media, techniques used by the media, and the impact of those techniques. We took what we learned in our class here at Stonehill College and applied multiple theories from our lessons to the ways we were teaching the kids. The kids were able to take what they learned from us as tools in applying media literacy.
Okay, so we're just going to ask you a couple questions. So how long have you been an educator at West Middle School?
This is my 10th year as being a teacher here at West Middle School.
How many years have you kind of overseen the our CBL?
I believe this is our 5th year.
5th year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Could you talk a little bit maybe about some of the changes you've seen in the students since taking the CBL, I guess?
Sure. I think not only the students but myself. I think I told you guys at the beginning of the year that initially I was deathly afraid of going on Facebook because as a teacher you don't want kids to kind of get in to your stuff. But understanding the material, I felt comfortable joining Facebook. For our kids, I think it's great because I think they recognize that there is a newfound freedom, but there's also a responsibility that goes along with being out in social media. I think they really understand that there are feelings involved, even though they're just sitting in front of a computer. The evolution of this entire class has been fantastic. From the very beginning of how do we create something that allows to kind of give information to kids as they're going towards a better understanding of social media, to now where you really have kind of picked up some focus areas where today they're learning about body image. They learned about privacy settings. They learned how to properly vet information on the internet. I mean, we've really come a long way from the beginning. So.
Okay. And what did you know about media before coming to the iHeartMedia course that we've been teaching?
That it teaches people how to stop, bullying and being rude to others.
So that's what you. And what did you know about media before coming to the iHeartMedia course?
Before coming to media, I thought it was just pretty much the internet where you can find things and pretty much learn the ways and pretty much talk to your friends, find information for stuff and stuff like that. Talk to people, I guess.
What did you know about media before coming to the iHeartMedia course?
A lot, but I just wanted to go to it because I wanted a little bit more information because I thought it would help me, and it actually did.
So you'd say that what you learned helped, and you learned some useful things. What did you know about media before coming to the iHeartMedia course?
A lot, but I learned new things about it.
What new things did you learn?
How to keep your stuff private and it's important to do that.
Lesson 1 was designed to give the students an overview of what they would be taught over the weeks to come. We took time in the beginning of the lesson to have the middle schoolers do a survey that would help us, as the teachers, understand what they knew prior to any of the lessons. We introduced everyone by doing an icebreaker, which allowed everyone to state a fun fact about themselves. We then went over the definition of mass media and media for the rest of the lesson, as well as create a list of class rules. The class rules included having fun, no talking about politics, and be respectful at all times. The theory we used for the lesson was the uses and gratification theory, which explains what people do with the media rather than what the media does to people. It also describes the audience as being passive. Our second lesson was designed to teach the students about online safety and privacy. The goals for this lesson were to help the students understand the idea that anything posted online is public information and lasts forever, to educate students on why using privacy settings is beneficial, to help them learn that people portray themselves differently online and it is not 100% true to real life. The uses and gratification theory and priming helped us create this lesson. The uses and gratification theory explains what people do with media rather than what media does to people. It also explains how people use media for their needs and gratification. This helped us when explaining how people can hide their true identity on social media and that what they see is not 100% true to real life. Priming is defined as an explanatory mechanism for media effects that looks at short-term attitudinal changes. The key process of priming is the activation of schema or knowledge structures. This helped us when we explained that anything posted online is there forever and why using privacy settings is beneficial to their safety. By the end of our lesson, students discussed making changes to their social media accounts to protect themselves from the dangers of social media.
In our lesson, we educated the students about credible media sources and media resources for mental and physical health. Our main goals of this lesson plan were to have the students understand that not all media sources are credible, especially when it comes to researching health issues, and to learn where to get credible information about health. We also taught the students how to identify a credible source. A credible source is a source that the reader can trust because the author's opinions are his or her own and can be backed up with evidence. We wrapped up our lesson by discussing online search engine optimization tactics that can influence the type of sources that are available. For example, we informed the students that many sources manipulate themselves to look prettier, therefore more appealing for the user's eyes, which in turn makes it more likely to be on the first page of Google. Many sources are also careful with keywords that they use so that they show up first for whatever keywords you're more likely to type into Google. This lesson tied into the agenda-setting theory of communication. This theory is the process by which the news media leads the public in assigning relative importance to various public issues. This theory makes the assumptions that the audience is active but within the media's agenda, and that individuals rely on news media to make sense of complex issues.
During the cyberbullying lesson, we taught the students at West Middle School about the dangers of bullying through media. The students first began by defining bullying, then coming up with definitions of cyberbullying. After, we had a group brainstorm of why people cyberbully and how to prevent it. We then watched a video on cyberbullying to give the students a concrete definition. To sum up their new knowledge, the students created a PSA on the dangers of cyberbullying and ways to prevent it. Our group relayed this lesson back to social learning theory, which states that children learn from observing behavior and then replicate that same behavior based on the rewards or punishments received. Therefore, through the viewing of violence in the media, students were desensitized to the aggression that they were showing online and modeled their behavior after what they had viewed as acceptable in the media.
Within lesson number 5, we attempted to offer a media literacy lesson on media and body image. We began this lesson by telling the students to draw a picture of themselves that showed one thing they liked about themselves. After drawing the image, we had them share their thoughts, and what many expressed was that they valued and liked their innate qualities like intelligence, kindness, and friendliness. Within this lesson, we seem to access the issues that come along with the social comparison theory. We are all naturally inclined to compare ourselves to others and can't opt out of this comparison. Shockingly enough, the students expressed a downward comparison with the models. They felt that they were better than the models because none of them wanted to be photoshopped in such a drastic way.
Going into this assignment, I wasn't sure if the middle schoolers were going to get anything out of it. I was surprised at the end when the students remembered lessons from the first few weeks, and it was interesting to see how the theories that we learned in our Capstone class related to the lessons that we taught at West Middle School.